Hello everyone, I'm Jen of Janetta Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I have done a video tutorial, so I think it's time for... Actually, this will be split up in two parts since this hat I made, I have two different styles, and this is considered a bucket hat, so it's going to be made in the round. This is the inside of the hat, and then at the end will be a straight brim. It's a pretty simple pattern, all double crochets. Then you can tell this is where the beginning of the row starts. But you will need to be you do need to know how to use the magic ring, double crochet, and a slip stitch for this tutorial. For part one today, I will be showing you how to make this specific hat. It is made to measure. You want to make sure you are constantly measuring your head and down to your eyes, and make sure that it is suitable for your face, your head, however you'd like. And I will tell you pretty much like a guideline. Maybe my specific hat size won't fit your head, but that's why I said like that's why this is kind of like a made to measure pattern, just because you're constantly having to measure your head. This took so long for me to measure out my head, what kind of size I like. But yeah, so the yarn I will be using today will be this beautiful coral peachy color that I got from Michaels. It is the Craft Smart brand. You're going to be needing any weight size 4 yarn, and then you will also be needing a 4.5mm hook and your typical scissors and needle. So like I said, you will need to know how to use the magic ring before you get started. So anyway, let's get started. In the magic ring, you will be doing 10 double crochets. Just chain 1 here to start your stitch here. So let's do our 10 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just double check before you start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, okay. Okay, so now we're gonna do our slip stitch into this first stitch right here. All right, there we go. So now you're just going to chain 2 and start our first row. So when we start our first row, you see where we put our slip stitch? Right here? You always want to make sure you are going into that stitch when you start. So since this row, we are doing all increases and in each stitch, you want to make sure you start here. That includes the increase for this row specifically. See? There we go. So that's 1 increase. That's 2. So you want to keep going until you get to the end. Once we are done with our increases, don't go into this last stitch here. We already did our increases in the first stitch. You're going to put a slip stitch right on the top of the first stitch we made. And that's row 1. So it's already going to pretty much cone. You're gonna want that. It shapes the hat. So now for this row, again, chain 2. For this reason alone, we really don't need a stitch marker, but by all means, if you would like to use a stitch marker, go ahead. No judgment. It's okay. We were don't worry. When I first started making this pattern, I was using one. So do not worry if you don't need one. If you do need one. So now for row 2, you're going to now 1 double crochet, first stitch, and then the second stitch, increase. And you're going to do that all the way until the end. So again, 1 increase. Again, 1 increase. So you're going to do that until you get all the way to the end, and then you're going to end on an increase. If you always forget, you want to make sure you end on an increase in all of our rows when we're increasing. Once we are done with row 2, once again, we are doing our lovely slip stitch at the end here. And now we're on to row 3. See how it is coning? You want this. I know it's not good in some cases, but for this pattern, you do want the cone. So again, chain 2. Always start with a chain 2 when we are starting our new row. So now for this row, we are now doing 2 double crochet and increase. So again, 1, 2, increase. Again, 1, 2, increase. Continue to do that throughout the row. Again, once again, we are ending on an increase row. Again, now slip stitch. So now we are on row 4. Chain 2. So now we are doing 3 double crochets, increase. So pretty much you want to increase until you have your size head, the size on the top of your head. You're going to keep doing that until you have the perfect size for you. For me, I increased until I got to 5 double crochets increase, and then I was okay with that measurements. Maybe you need 4 double crochets, or maybe you need 6 or 7. We all have different size heads, and that's okay. Like I said, my pattern is just a suggestion. You don't have to do my pattern. There are plenty of other hat patterns out there for you if my pattern is not a fit. I won't get offended, I promise, if you turn off this video. Like, I really won't. I promise. I know my content is not for everybody. 2, 3, increase. So you want to keep going until you have your correct size. And once you have the correct size, we'll get to that point. For me personally, 5 double crochets and increase is when I end off on my personal head size. And then once we get to that point, I will show you what to do next. It's very simple when we're doing the flat brim pattern. All right, and I will see you when we get to my measurements. Here's a bit of an update of where I am. See how it's forming the cone the cone head, and also pretty much it fits the top of my head. I did my 5 double crochets and increase round. So now, after you're done pretty much measuring the top of your head, what you're now going to do is still chain 2 like normal. And now for the next 2 rows, you're going to do all double crochets, no increases. For the next 2 rounds, still double crocheting like absolute normal. Again, you want to keep measuring, make sure this is good for your face and your head. You might have to go back a few rows, or maybe you just want to do one row of this, and that's okay. So after we are all finished with doing our regular double crochet round with no increases, I'll show you what to do right after. Okay, so we just got done with our no increase rows. So now what we're going to do, we're making our brim. So from now on, we are no longer working underneath the our regular stitches. We are now going into the front row. So continuing off where we were, so like I said before, I did my 2 regular non-increase rows. Now we're going to go back to where I was doing my increases. So I stopped at 5 double crochets, increase. So now we're just going to continue on from that. So for me, it's going to be now 6 double crochets into the front loop and increase. I know this part can be very, very tedious, so make sure you take your time with this. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. So pretty much same like normal, except that we're now going into the front stitch. Front loop, I should say, I'm sorry. See, you got the back loop here. The front loop is pretty much where it's facing you. So that's going to create like the brim. It's going to fold over like this afterwards. So I did this 3 times. So at the end, so my next row will be 7 double crochet increase. My last row will be 8 double crochet increase, and that's where I stop. If you are, say you are done at 9 double crochet increase, that's totally fine too with your measurements, but I'm going to continue on with my measurements and we'll pretty much get on with the end. This is literally it. We are making the brim and then we are all finished. After this, I'm going to pretty much show you what it's going to look like with it on. Alright, so I just got done sewing in the loose ends. Obviously, once you're done, you just sew in the ends, and this is the brim. This is what it will look like. You have 3 on the inside because we did in the front stitch, the front loop. This is what it will look like, and this is what our slip stitch will look like. It's a little noticeable, but just put it in the back. It's fine. Okay, so the try-on. Oh, this is so cute. This is so cute. I love this color in the sunlight. my god. What do you think? Do you like this? I think it came out really cute. Like, wow. Obviously, like, if you want to, like, flip up your edge a little bit, like, then you can, like, not bad for just a basic bucket hat. Next week, I will be showing you, well, I don't know about next week, because April is coming out, April soon, so, I have to check on the date. You'll be notified of when part 2 will be coming out for this. In part 2, I will be showing you how to do the ruffled edges for my other version of this bucket hat. I made 2 versions, one with just a straight edge, and then the second one with the ruffled edges. I've made a lot of hats so far, so I can't wait to show them all off. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. The pattern will actually be written down in the description as well, for my measurements specifically, and you can just go off of, like, if you need to increase your rows, decrease. It really just depends on your face, obviously. So see, this is perfect for my face. I mean, it fits me like a glove. It's great. Anyway, see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.